So there's no videotaping allowed inside. They're already trying to hide things.
Hey, reason being, they just said they can't send everybody inside, whether or not they do or don't want to be videotaped, so they just asked you to videotape inside. But like I said, there ain't nothing stopping you from videotaping out here, public property, all that jazz.
I appreciate it. So we're not allowed inside. So we're not
They
getting...
didn't say you weren't allowed inside, they just asked you not to videotape inside. They said you're more welcome to come in, just asked you not to videotape.
We got Dan Armstrong to the left. And then you got David Purkey sitting there in the center, and Bob Ellis to the far right. Tommy Pettigo. Basically, this room is full of a lot of what the problem is in Hamblen County. If those same faces stay in position or get elected to be the head, in this case the sheriff, we are screwed. And I will have to tell you in a different video, and you will have to check that out, how screwed up the judicial system is for the grand jury. And we're screwed. Judicially, we are in big trouble. And the only reason why we don't have the county mayor and council members here is because they're at their own meeting. So we got a bunch of people in here that want to lead. Thank you. That want to lead this government, but we need massive change here. This is a big deal. There is so much corruption going on in Hamblen County. It's absurd. Got Judge Collins right there. They pray and say the Pledge of Allegiance, but they don't believe in the Constitution, and they sin unconditionally. Look, this guy's taking a picture. I see that. I see that right there. He sees it too. He ain't doing nothing about it. This one right here, look, recording. Right there in the top. This guy right here just pulled out his. Oh, she's recording over here. Look. Recording. That's a problem. We, the citizens, can't even hear what our running to be sheriff are discussing.
They're not letting anyone in?
No, you can go in there. They just don't want me video recording. Everybody else seems to be able to do it, but I mean, I feel for Donahue. That's this officer right here, because he seems to be a pretty decent officer, and I know that he would love to say something, But these are his colleagues. These are the people that he's got to deal with on a daily, regular basis. And it would really, really take somebody stepping above and beyond their feelings to say, hey, listen, you told me I can't have a guy in there with a camera, but here it's happening. This guy right here, Chad Mullins, he's been with the Hamblen County Sheriff's Department for many, many years. He pretty much sits right up underneath the current sheriff. And the corruption and the tyranny that runs deep in that department will only strengthen when you allow somebody familiar with the tyranny and the corruption to head the operation. At all cost, Chad Mullins must not be voted for sheriff. So that means one of these two candidates. So what's the problem with having two additional candidates? Well, you'd say that opens it on up for better opportunities and a better candidate. Yes, but the question is, which one is of the better candidate? Sitting out here, we can't hear anything because they're hiding it. They want to keep their little circle together and not get this information out by any means. So you have two additional candidates. What does that mean? That means that if the other two candidates get evenly amount of votes at, say, 33% each, that only leaves Chad to need 34% to win, versus if it was just one other candidate, then Chad would need 51% to win. Right now, people know Chad. They don't understand that he's a bad apple in the orchard. And people need to understand that. So the question is going to be, whom of these other two candidates running for sheriff is going to be the best candidate? And, well, since they don't want to talk to me or let me in and hear what's going on and what's going to say, I'm going to have to just gather information from other citizens that know about these guys, and going to have to come out based on that knowledge to see who's the best candidate. Can't promise you it will be the best candidate, but I can promise you they'll be better than Chad Mullins. The sheriff, they're supposed to, their job duty is to uphold the Constitution. Here I am at an open public meeting, required to stand outside if I want to video record the meeting, versus being open. And this guy just finished recording his stuff, put his camera down, stopped the recording. This right here is a violation of my constitutional rights. It's also playing favoritism in rules to not be evenly distributed. All I can imagine them saying right now is a bunch of open promises that we're going to make this happen and this change if you vote us in and keep us in. We're going to be the best and we're going to make all the changes that should be made. But if they were doing their jobs, there wouldn't be a need for all these changes. That's what I can imagine them saying right about now. I don't know too much about Collins here. I don't care what side you are, blue or red. If you're corrupt, you're corrupt. If you're in it for the wrong reasons, you're in it for the wrong reasons. If you've been there too long, unchecked and not held accountable, there's a good chance you're a big part of the problem. I promise to be the best sheriff that Hamblen County has ever seen. I will not make any changes. Currently everything is running at its premium. We're getting away with everything that we want to get away with, short of putting our knee in somebody's neck and killing them. I know we have in our jail facility many people that have died, and our turnaround is ridiculous. We can't keep employees in any department, but I will do better than I'm currently doing. I mean, look how small this room is. They knew that they weren't going to have a large turnout. If they thought that they were going to advertise this correctly and have a large turnout where the citizens can come on out and actually listen to what's going on and stuff, they would be in a hall someplace, in a conference room, not in this little rinky-dinky shopping plaza storefront. It's all a plan. They have that bigger picture. Look, way back in the corner, they got a Mullins for sheriff sign. These people in this room want Mullins to win because, like I said, the tyranny is already there. He's already involved in it. They know that they're going to be all cushiony if he wins because there's going to be no change, no accountability, no ruffling of any feathers. Hey, man, I appreciate you thinking about me through the window.
Oh, God. What are you recording it for?
Well, back a year ago this month, I started a YouTube channel. To get the information out to the citizens, because the citizens are not aware of what's going on. They are the same people that I was a year ago, thinking that everything was being ran smooth, taken care of. People that needed to be showing up to the county meetings and the city meetings were showing up, and that is by far not what I found. I started going when I heard that a few ladies had gotten their First Amendment rights violated because they made t-shirts matching against the $104 million jail. Wanted to go to the county meeting, and the chairman had told the deputy downstairs, don't allow these people in unless they change their shirts or they flip them inside out. Somehow I found out about it about a week later. And I went to the first meeting. I was like, what? I was like, the chairman violated? Come on, the guy's got to know that that's an open, Yeah. So I started going in quickly. I've seen residents going up there and making great comments, but the committee not listening, right? Not listening, not asking questions, just voting for whatever. So I said in January of last year, I said, I need to start getting this information out to people. So I started a YouTube channel.
What's your channel?
Lakeway Audits.
Oh, audits?
Audits.
Okay, I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, Lakeway Audits. I really tried to get out as much information as I can about what's going on. Now, that's primarily how it started. Well, I'm finding out things that they don't want me to find out, right? So it has become a thing about power, right? All their upper departments and law enforcement, they're all against me. Don't be here, don't be there. Like when I walked on up here, the officer said, there's no video recording allowed inside. Okay, well,
There's people all over the place.
Thank you very much. So I'm not going to fight it, though, right? I figure I'll stand out here, and all of a sudden I see all these cell phones pop up and people video recording, audio recording. Standing right there, and I pointed to the law enforcement officer. Now, I had a run-in with him one time for the elections last year in May for the city. And they had called him at the election place and tried to have me removed. He did a fabulous job. So I know he's in there wanting to say something.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. That man can't say nothing to these people. He's got to see these faces and work and deal with these. He's got a relationship with them. I can't expect for him to come out of his comfort zone. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, I mean, I understand where they're coming from.
I'm from Chicago, so I understand what's going on. I know it. Yeah, I've seen it all my life. You know?
Well, per capita, man, you'd be surprised. There's more corruption right here than there is probably anywhere in the country.
Well, I don't know about that. I've seen corruption. Trust
But
me.
but for the amount of people, for 65,000 people,
Yeah.
I mean, corruption happens everywhere. But usually, you find a big corruption in the big,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. So, like this guy right here, he's the judge, Judge Collins. He admitted 4 months ago at the county meeting of violating state law for about the past 10 years to have people given their bond as soon as they are put into the jail system, instead of sitting in jail sometimes 2 or 3 days before they actually get to go in front of a bond magistrate, because they just have some Joe over there saying, oh yeah, $25,000 bond, $8,000 bond. No questions asked. No, are you a runner, or do you live here? You have ties here. That's how the law is supposed to be. So now we are under a lawsuit because of the people in jail that weren't able to bond out because of this. So now the citizens have to pay for his mistakes. Come on now, the guy admitted to it, but you're not going to do anything about it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I tried going in front of the grand jury this morning after I was denied to go 2 months ago, with David Purkey sitting right there and Dan Armstrong against the wall. And I brought them clear evidence of documents that were changed by Mayor Bill Brittian. I brought in documents proving that Teresa West wasn't following the law for notice of records. Now, the one for the mayor, that's a felony. It's a Class E felony. Okay, I brought the evidence. I brought the printout. I brought everything. I gave it to them. Said, if you want more evidence, I got it on video recording for the trial. If it goes that route, nothing came up to be about it. The same thing with her. Hers is a misdemeanor, but she has to relinquish her duty in that position. She can't hold that position if she does that. They just let it go. I tried to have a complaint against both of them for denying me against the violation of law, for not allowing me to present back in November on this when I had these charges, when I found out about them. Oh, well, there's absolutely, there's no criminal backing to it. Basically, it's not a charge. I said it would be, I suspect it would be under a U.S. code, right? They don't have the power to just make up whatever feelings and however they want to work it, right? So even though it's a state law, the U.S. code is going to affect what they did. Didn't want to hear it. They said, okay, well, you have you said what you had to say. We're going to deliberate on that. I had an assault charge on some guy that confronted me, and it was out of self-defense. But you know how people are. They plead out to these things. Let's move on with our lives, right? So that's what I did. I just pled on out. It didn't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? Nothing big.
It's on your record.
He brought that up in front of the grand jurors, saying that maybe my testimony might not be credible. I'm bringing you the evidence in black and white. How much more credible do I need to be? Regardless if I committed a crime 23 years ago, if I have knowledge of a crime today and I'm bringing you that information, I'm credible. The law says if I lie, I could be held for perjury. And I'm willing to take my chances to come up in front of this board today. Right? So, I mean, it's not until we get away from the people who are in office and in power now, Hamblen County is never going to change. And that starts with Chad Mullins sitting in there. He basically runs the sheriff's department. He is underneath ESCO, and ESCO hasn't been around for the past few years. There's many issues within the sheriff's department. If you already keep the guy that's in head of it, in charge of it, in position, You
just
changed
stay the same.
nothing. You changed nothing.
So what do you know about the other two?
They're not willing to talk to me. At least when I had asked them a month ago, I asked one during the Christmas parade and one during the Halloween thing that they had going on. I don't know if it was maybe too far out or whatever. But listen, if you want people to know, I should be in here. Yeah. One of them should have been like, hey, that's media. I want to get my reasoning out there. I want him in here. Regardless if I agree or disagree in how he goes about getting his information. You know?
See, I'm new here. I don't, back home, I knew everything that was going on, because I knew people in politics, and I knew what they were doing and how they were doing it. Mm-hmm. Here, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I assume there's a lot of stuff going on just because it's politics.
Well, and you have the Good Old Boys Club that they've been around for 20, 30 years. They went to school together. They know each other. The mayor of Hamblen County, his daughter is married to the chairman of the committee. You know what I'm saying? You have Tim Horner, who's a bail bond. He's on top of the jail committee. Like, you just can't have those type of conflicts of interest going on for the good. You know what I'm saying? So are these people bad people? No, they're just not in a position that they need to be in of power in their category. I mean, honestly, we need some new minds. I'm not saying younger people, just new minds, just new fresh people that...
That's always the way, though. You should always have new faces. It's just...
Mayor, this is the guy right here. He's the one that violated those ladies' rights. That's the chairman right there, Howard Shipley, the one that just walked in. Their meeting must be over now. That's why none of them are here. But, I figured, when you go to a landfill, you find the most amount of trash, right? So here I am.
Yeah. That's interesting.
And, so Lakeway audits, there's 100 and some odd videos on there. Some are very educational. It's about getting public records and how to go about getting public records and stuff like that. And a lot of people I've learned, and they've contacted me and said, hey, thank you. I never knew I can go get public records or get body cam footage or this.
I will look that up because that's...
Yeah. And then there's a lady, if you're interested in finding out and keeping track of all the meetings, she goes to as many meetings as she can and she records them. El-Noe. L-N-O-E. El-Noe. And this is all on YouTube.
Yeah.
And she goes to all the meetings that she can go to, and she video records them and gets them out there. And if it wasn't for that lady right there, man, I could imagine how bad things would be. Or blocking me on Facebook, or whatever they do, that threaten to kick me out of places and arrest me and stuff like that. And not the way it started. It was supposed to be strictly to get information, and they just attacked me. So,
yeah, you must be doing something right.
Yeah,
That's the only reason they do that. And you're finding out stuff they don't want people to know.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And I'm getting it out there.
Yeah, well, it's good.
Because it's funny. I'll go to the same meeting as the Tribune guy, and then he'll have his little interview with the mayor or whoever afterwards. Man, and it seems like it was all roses and stuff like that. And I'm like, was this guy at the same meeting as I was, or like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
There's a few good ones. Penny Petty, she's a good one, but I don't know if you were in her. She's not going to run next year.
Yeah.
But she's always been a good one. She works over there or heads up where they do the license plate and stuff like that, and all that information. Always been straight up a pleasure to deal with. And you find that in different departments, man. You walk in there and they're a pleasure, and then you walk into others and it's like they do whatever they can possibly do. No, that's not public information. Sure, it's public information. If I just got it from the city, the county, it's no different. You know what I'm saying? I would like the public information. They want to hide it. And then I noticed in the corner over there, there's a Chad Mullins sign over there. Why would Chad Mullins have his sign in here if none of the other two have? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, yeah. I mean, before anybody was running, they were talking. My wife joined when she got here, the Republican women, and they were talking about him way last year before anybody else started running.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's why I wanted to come to the meeting today, because all three of these guys were here, and they all seem well qualified. I mean, there's not one of them, but like you said, you got one guy there that's
been there. So
yeah.
I can't say that either of the other two are any better of a candidate. I can just say that it's fresh face in there. They're going to make some changes, right?
Yeah.
The thing that bothers me is that, there's two other candidates, right? So now the votes.
Yeah, that's what happened.
So my thing is I need to figure out which of those two candidates are the. Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good.
To find out which of those two candidates are the better candidate, and that's the one I need to push. Unfortunately, I'm not going to find out from them most likely, so it's going to have to be from people in here that heard it, or people that know of him that hear things, and so on and so forth, and I'm going to have to make my judgment based on that. Yeah. But either way, Chad Mullins that has no need to be in there. This is our time for change, right? I mean, here they come. So yeah, Lakeway Audits and El Noe. You're out of here, Penny. No more for you. You're really the only one of the only faces I like to see when I come through there, to be honest with you.
Maybe there'll be another one moving there.
I hope so. If they're half as good as you, we'll be good.
Okay.
Have a good one. I know. No, I know. And I know you were standing there, and I know you were probably saying, man, I should say something, but I don't expect you to come out of your comfort zone to deal with and to tell people that you got to work with every day. I mean, that's my job. How's it going?
Good, man. You all right?
I wish they would have allowed me in the video record so I can get your all's word out. I mean, if the people don't know who to vote for, they only got to use, when people's...
There will be public debates. Coming up.
Hopefully they'll allow me in that.
Be patient.
I'm trying. People want to know, though. They're getting hungry, and there's no way to find out.
There will be.
Well, I hope so.
Nobody has anything to hide, I don't think.
Hey,
How's it going?
we're good. How are you?
Good. Eventually, maybe they'll let me in one of these things so I can get some information on people.
Yeah.
I mean, if the public don't know who to vote for, they vote the same people that are already there.
Well, that's true.
Right? When you have the Criminal Investigator of Hamblen County and surrounding areas hanging at chit-chat and personalization with somebody running for the sheriff, it's never a good thing. Too much buddy-buddy.
Yeah, we missed you well in Sunday school.
What's up, Pedigo? Hey, so who was in charge of this operation tonight?
This was a Republican women meeting.
With minutes, though? They have minutes and stuff that they take? I seen a lady taking minutes.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm not a woman. I'm not a member. I'm an associate member of it. That's yeah.
So it was a private meeting tonight, is what it was?
I assumed that you had to be a member to be involved in it. So yeah, it wasn't a public meeting.
Okay.
Yeah. Buddy, take care of yourself.
Yep.
See you next week.
Oh, look, so we have the guy running for sheriff getting into the same vehicle as the criminal investigator. Ties run deep. Tyranny is way out of her portion here. Coming to you from the GOP in Hamblen County, Morristown.